See here, now this is from the BCE. Okay, now this is the concept from BCE till CE today. Okay, so see, funny thing, as I told you that these people, let's take it in a humor that these people were having the dates in minus. Okay, so if their dates were in minus, so the time was like moving ahead for them. It doesn't mean that time was also moving backward. It was moving ahead like right now, very normally. So for example, the notable time which we are discussing at this moment started from what am I doing? Okay, it started from 25th century BCE to 2500 BCE and till 2401 BCE. Exactly like that. You can just see here 24, 23, 22, 21, 2000, 1900s, 1800, 1700, 1600, and it goes on and on and on till 1 BCE. Now, what happens after this? What happens after this? We also had a very deep discussion this in the class as well. A lot of students were asking questions. So then, what is going to happen after this? Okay. So now let's try to dive deep into it. What happens after this? Because see, guys, I'm again repeating. If you will understand this lecture, inshallah, to understand the history in your grade 6, 7, 8, in your university as well, it's going to be very, very piece of cake for you, because dates are very important to understand the important events when they took place, okay, in which century, in which millennium, and whether it was BCE or it was CE. Very important to understand. Okay, so the year after 1 BCE is 1 CE, common era. In the transitioning from BCE to CE, there is no zero. And if you remember, this is something that I told you in the classroom as well, that there is no concept of zero over here. Okay, so don't get confused. And I've said this thing in the classroom as well, that there is no zero in between. For example, in between what? I don't know why my pen is not working. Hey, what's wrong with you? Okay, yep. So in between what? In between 1 BCE and 1 CE. It's like, this number over here and this number. So there is no a 0 year. There is no concept of like a 0 year. Then it started, let's say the sequence goes directly from 1 BCE to 1 CE. Okay. Now, if you see this into a little bit details over here, from 1 CE to 100 CE, now the time is totally normal. It's totally normal into terms like the way actually we see it and the dates like we count, okay? For example, in which century we are at the moment? Yeah, question from you. Which century? We are in 21st century. Right now, currently, we guys are in this century. So can we say this thing, that Pakistan got independence in 20th century? Now see, before, as we were going through the previous pages, it was using examples of dates with notable events. So saying dates like this, pronouncing them like that, it helps us to mark important events, identify important events that has taken place in the past, right? So I hope now this entire concept of BCE and transition from 1 BCE to 1 CE, and then the dates, they go on. But be aware of this thing. Don't get mistaken that, let me just clarify this thing to you, that this entire thing, this entire fiasco isn't positive. It's not that, this is negative. They are going back in time. Like it's like some kind of a science fiction movie that they're going back in time. That's why their dates are in minus. No, it's not something like that. The time is moving ahead in future. Okay. That's why I just made this arrow to make you understand this thing. All right.